Okay, welcome everyone to the Committee of Adjustment meeting. Committee will hear applications for minor variances and consents. We'll call each application by the name and number, and we'll ask if anyone wishes to speak regarding the application. If so, you'll have to give your name to the secretary so it can be recorded. The applicant and the agent will automatically be notified of our decisions in writing. If there's anyone here who wishes to be notified in writing about a certain application, you'll have to sign the clipboard at the back of the room so that we can do that. There is a 20-day waiting period after today's decisions to allow for time for appeals to the OMB. And just remember to push your button when your turn to speak for the microphones, and make sure you smile for the TV cameras. I have a motion here somewhere. I got a motion by Dennis, seconded by Marcel. Resolved that the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meeting held Wednesday, November 15th, 2017 be adopted as circulated. Are there any errors or omissions? Those in favor of the motion? Motion's carried. Okay, so our first application today is application AN260. It's in the name of Harold and Julie Cohenberg, and it's being recommended deferral because there's some information not had yet that we're waiting for. Anyone here for this application? And you are? Okay, so you understand why it's being deferred? I didn't ask if you were happy about it. We just need some more information. So we'll need a motion for deferral. Dennis, Marcel. So the motion by Dennis, seconded by Marcel, for application AN260 is that the committee defers this application and to allow for additional information from the property owner to ensure accuracy of the application, and no public input was received, therefore not considered to this point. Those in favor of deferral? Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry? Thank you. I assume you have the next one. Okay, our next application is BN250 in the name of J&S Judge Farms. Mr. Dixon, how are you? Is there anyone else here who wishes to speak regarding this application? I'll have the planner explain the report then.
Thank you. This is an application for a hydro easement, which is a condition of a previously approved severance application. Planning staff do support the application and are recommending approval, subject to the attached conditions.
Terrific, thank you. Any questions of the planner? Okay. Anything you need to add, sir?
I'm told brevity is golden here.
Okay, for application BN250, I've got a motion by Rudy, seconded by Eric, that the committee hereby approves the application to establish an easement for an existing hydro line having a frontage of 5.672 meters, a width of 3 meters, a depth of 20 0.795 meters, an area of 52.76 square meters. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, conforms to Norfolk County official plan regarding establishments of an easement, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Any further discussion? Those in favor? Good.
Thank you, Mr.
Carried.
Chairman.
Thank you. Oh, I guess that, I don't know if I did the last one. I know I didn't stamp it. Okay, our next application is AN 237, Cheryl Lambrecht and Roxanne Coote. Is there anyone here wishing to speak regarding this one? Sorry, no. But you are? Okay. If we need you, we'll find you. Okay, we'll have the planner explain the report then.
Thank you. An application has been received to request relief of 84.9 square meters to permit a maximum area of all accessory buildings of 184.9 square meters, and relief of 1.9 square meters to permit a maximum height for an accessory structure of 7.9 meters in the agricultural zone. The subject lands are 2,854 square meters in size, or roughly 0.7 acres, and are located at 1306 12th Concession Road in the former geographic township of North Walsingham. The subject lands contain a single-family dwelling and an existing accessory barn. Surrounding land uses are primarily agricultural in nature, with a lumberyard located to the northwest of the lands on the opposite side of 12th Concession Road. The subject application is related to a severance application to boundary adjust the barn onto the existing lot. The existing barn is surplus to the needs of the adjacent farm operation, and this is the only accessory building to the dwelling in the lot. Planning staff believe this application is minor in nature, appropriate development, conforms to the Norfolk County official plan, and complies with the zoning bylaw, and recommend approval.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Marcel? Okay. Okay, for application AN 237, I have a motion by Marcel, seconded by Eric, that the committee hereby approves the application for relief of 84.9 square meters from the maximum permitted 100 square meter to permit a maximum area of all accessory buildings of a total of 184.9 square meters and relief of 6.2 feet from the maximum height of 6 meters to permit a maximum height of 25.9 feet to recognize the existing deficiency of the existing barn. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the proposed development requested relief is considered appropriate, minor, maintains the intent of the Norfolk County official plan and the zoning bylaws, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Any further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? It's carried. And our next application is BN 236, same people.
Thanks. This is a related severance application. It's been received to sever a parcel having no frontage, a width of 41.5 meters, and a regular depth of 21.69 meters, having an area of 858 square meters, and retain a parcel having an area of 19.94 hectares. These lands are to be added to the existing rural residential parcel located immediately north, with a final lot size of 2,854 square meters, or roughly 0.7 acres. The subject lands are located at the rear of 1306 12th Concession Road. The subject lands contain a 184.9 square meter barn, which would be considered an accessory building on the adjusted lot. The retained lands are 19.94 hectares in size and feature a single detached dwelling, storage shed, a barn, and several kilns. The existing barn to be boundary adjusted is surplus to the needs of the farm operation, and no active farmland is being removed as a result of this application. Planning staff believe this application to be consistent with the provincial policy statement and the Norfolk County official plan and recommend approval.
Thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Discussion then? Okay, good. For application BN 236, I have a motion by Dan, seconded by Rudy, that the committee hereby approves the application to sever a parcel with no frontage, a width of 41.5 meters, an irregular depth of 21.69 meters, an area of 858 square meters, and retain a parcel with an area of 49.27 acres as a boundary adjustment. The lands are to be added to the existing parcel located immediately north. Roll number ends in 38630, making its final lot size 2,854 square meters. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and the Norfolk County official plan regarding boundary adjustments in the agricultural area, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? That motion's carried. Thank you. You're good. Our next application is BN 254, Michael and Catherine Boothby. Anyone here to speak to this one? Okay. You're Michael? Catherine? You're the Boothbys? Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll have the planner explain the report then.
Thank you. This is a boundary adjustment application to sever a parcel having no frontage on a regular width of 57.99 meters, on a regular depth of 3.2 meters, and having an area of 132.1 square meters. Retaining a parcel having an area of 20.35 hectares. The final lot size for the rural residential lot is 5,565.7 square meters, or roughly 1.37 acres. The subject lands are 132 square meters and have no frontage in the geographic township of Houghton. The subject lands contain the well for the adjacent lot to the west, civic address number 736 North Road. The lands are to be added to this lot, which contains a single-family dwelling, a detached garage, and a shed. The boundary adjustment ensures that the entire well system is on the lot that it services. Planning staff believe this application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the official plan, and we recommend approval subject to the attached conditions.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? All right, Dennis? Okay. For application BN 254, I have a motion by Dennis, seconded by Larry, that the committee hereby approves the application to sever a parcel with no frontage, an irregular width of 190 feet, an irregular depth of 10.5 feet, an area of 1,421 square feet, and retain a parcel having an area of 50.3 acres as a boundary adjustment. The lands are to be added to the parcel located immediately adjacent to the west, the roll number ending in 24720, making its final lot size 1.37 acres. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to Norfolk County official plan regarding boundary adjustments in the agricultural designation, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Any further discussion? Those in favor? Motion's carried. Thank you. Our next application is BN 180, Laura Vanderlee. And you're Laura? Okay. Anyone else here for this one? We'll have the planner explain the report then.
Thank you. I am presenting this report on behalf of my colleague Matt Bond. This is a severance application in the hamlet of Wilsonville. The severance is 2 acres in size, and the lands are vacant. The subject lands are designated hamlet and zoned hamlet residential, and the application does meet the required lot size and lot frontage for a lot within the hamlet. So planning staff do support the application and recommend approval subject to the attached conditions.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Okay, thank you. Okay, for application BN 180, I have a motion by Rudy, seconded by Larry, that the committee hereby approves the application to sever a parcel with a frontage of 66 meters, a width of 66 meters, a depth of 134.89 meters, an area of 0.8 hectares, and retain a parcel having an area of 49.37 hectares as a creation of a lot within the hamlet of Wilsonville. The subject application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to Norfolk County official plan regarding lot creation in the hamlet area, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Further discussion? Those in favor? Motion is carried. Okay, our next application is BN 243, Susan and Peter Tomvik.
I'm counsel for the
Your name is?
Smelko, Elvis Smelko.
Thank you. Anyone else here for this application? We'll have the planner explain the report then.
This is an application for a boundary adjustment. The lands are 260.6 square meters in size and front onto Queensway West and Simcoe, and they're vacant aside from part of a garage which is proposed to be removed. The purpose of the boundary adjustment is to provide additional access to the newly formed lot. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, conforms to the policies of the official plan, and complies with the zoning bylaw, and staff support this application and recommend that it be approved.
Thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? All righty. Okay. For application BN 243, I have a motion by Dan, seconded by Dennis. The committee hereby approves the application to sever a parcel having a frontage of 6.59 meters, a width of 6.59 meters, a depth of 39.77 meters, and an area of 260.6 square meters, and retain a parcel having an area of 643.7 square meters as a boundary adjustment. The lands are to be added to the existing commercial parcel located immediately adjacent to the east, roll number ending in 03600, and this final lot size will be 1,025 square meters. This application does conform to the intent of the official plan regarding boundary adjustments in the urban area, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? Motion's carried.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. I'm sorry? So we're going to have to wait till 5:30 to deal with it, just in case somebody comes in at the advertised time. So bear with us, we'll be back to work in a few minutes. As long as we finish it after 5:30. That's it. Okay, it's pretty close to 5:30, so we'll go ahead with the next one. And that's AN 255, and is it Joe and Paula Sampaio, is that
That's right.
close?
That's pretty good. And my name's Jamie Perr. I'm counsel for Mr. and Mrs. Sampaio. He is here as well. I'm counsel for them.
Okay, great, thank you. Anyone else for this one? No, we'll have the planner explain the report then.
So this application is to recognize deficiencies for an existing accessory building requiring relief of 0.4 meters from the maximum permitted height of 6 meters to permit a height of 6.4 meters. The subject lands are approximately 1.38 acres in size and front onto the south side of Wyndham Road 10 in the former geographic township of Wyndham. The lands are zoned agricultural and used for residential purposes. The surrounding land uses are agricultural to the north and east, provincially significant wetlands with a large bush lot to the south and west. This application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, conforms to the Norfolk County official plan, and complies with, seeking general intent of the Norfolk County zoning bylaws. It's recommended this application be approved.
Thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Dennis? Need to add anything?
Nothing to add.
For application AN 255, I have a motion by Dennis, second by Larry, that the committee hereby approves the application to recognize an existing accessory building requiring relief of 0.4 meters from the maximum permitted height of 6 meters to permit a height of 6.4 meters. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the proposed development and requested relief is appropriate, it's minor in nature, and maintains the intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw. No public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Any further discussion? Those in favor? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next application is AN 241, Andrew Batten and Jill Baker. Is there anyone here wishes to speak to this one? Oh, you are? Okay, thank you. Will the planner explain the report?
This application, similar to the last one, is for, actually the construction of an accessory building requiring relief of 25.42 square meters from the maximum permitted usable floor area of 100 square meters to permit a usable floor area of 125.42 square meters, and 1 meter from the maximum permitted height of 6 meters to permit a height of 7 meters. The subject lands are approximately 25 acres in size and front onto the south side of Charlotteville Road 5 in the former geographic township of Charlotteville. The lands are used for residential and agricultural purposes, and the surrounding land uses are agricultural in nature. This application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, conforms to the Norfolk County official plan. It's minor in nature and is recommended for approval.
Terrific, thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Rudy? Okay. For application AN 241, I have a motion by Rudy, seconded by Dan, that the committee approves the application to construct an accessory building requiring relief of 25.42 square meters from the maximum permitted usable floor area of 100 square meters to permit a usable floor area of 125.42 square meters and 1 meter from the maximum building height of 6 meters to permit a 7-meter height building. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the development requested relief is considered appropriate, minor in nature, and maintains the intent of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Any further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? The motion's carried. Thank you. Our next application, BN 256, Michael Margatan. I see Mike there. Anyone else here for this one? We'll have the planner explain the report.
Thank you. This is a surplus farm dwelling severance application. Received several parcel having a frontage of 78 meters, a width of 78 meters, on a regular depth of 53.2 meters, and having an area of 4,041 square meters, or roughly 1 acre, and retain a parcel having an area of 38.5 hectares. The subject application is being reviewed concurrently with the zoning bylaw amendment to remove a single detached dwelling as a permitted use in the agricultural zone on the retained farm parcel. The subject lands contain an existing dwelling and an accessory shed. The dwelling fronts onto the north side of Norfolk County Highway 24 East in the former geographic township of Charlotteville. The retained lands consist of a 38.5 hectare farm parcel, of which 37.16 hectares is workable farmland. There are existing barns on the retained lands and an existing entrance from Norfolk County Highway 24 East to the west of the subject lands and severed parcel. Minimal active farmland is lost as a result of this application because of the orientation and size of the proposed severed lot. This application is consistent with the policies of the provincial policy statement and conform to the official plan regarding surplus farm dwelling severances. Staff support this recommendation and recommend approval.
Thanks very much. Any questions of the planner? Larry? Okay. For application BN 256, I have a motion by Larry, seconded by Eric. The committee hereby approves this application to sever a parcel with a frontage of 78 meters, a width of 78 meters, an irregular depth of 53.2 meters, and an area of 4,041 square meters. And retain a parcel having an area of 38.5 hectares as the severance of a dwelling made surplus through farm amalgamation. Subject application is being reviewed concurrently with a zoning bylaw amendment to remove a single detached dwelling as a permitted use in the agricultural zone on the retained lands. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms with Norfolk County official plan with regard to surplus farm dwelling severances, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. And as always, the conditions are in the motion. Any further discussion? Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Our next application is BN 239, and it's in Jack and Mary Jeanette White.
Jack White.
Welcome. Anyone else here for this one? We'll have the planner explain the report then.
An application has been received to sever a parcel having no frontage, an irregular width of 42.6 meters, an irregular depth of 23 meters, and having an area of 0.05 hectares or 0.12 acres, and retaining a parcel having an area of 0.23 hectares, and as a boundary adjustment. These lands are to be added to an existing farm parcel located immediately adjacent of roll number 331-054-106-008-700. The final lot size will be 32.96 hectares in size. The subject lands are 0.005 hectares in size and part of a larger parcel which fronts onto the south side of 2nd Concession Road, STR, in the former geographic township of Middleton. The subject lands contain no structures or buildings. The retained lands are 0.23 hectares in size and contain a single detached dwelling used for residential purposes. The surrounding land uses are agricultural in nature, with a small residential lot immediately to the east of the retained lands. The subject application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the intent of the Norfolk County official plans regarding boundary adjustments in the agricultural area and is recommended to be approved, subject to the attached conditions.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions of the planner? Dennis? Okay. Is there anything you wish to tell us, sir? I have a motion by Dennis, seconded by Marcel. The committee hereby approves the application to sever a parcel with no frontage, an irregular width of 43.8 meters, an irregular depth of 21.37 meters, and an area of .05 hectares. Retain a parcel having an area of 32.86 hectares as a boundary adjustment. Lands are to be added to the existing residential lot located immediately adjacent. Roll number ending in 008610, and its final lot size will be .82 acres. The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and the Norfolk County official plan regarding boundary adjustments in the agricultural area, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. And again, the conditions are outlined in the report. Is there further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? Motion's carried. Thank you. Our next application is BN 240 Van Meer Farms, Inc. Anyone here for this one? Well, the planner explain the report.
This application's similar to the last one. It's basically an adjustment of boundary lines to assist with farm operations. So this application has been received to several parcel having no frontage and a regular width of 43.8 meters and a regular depth of 21.37 meters and having an area of 0.05 hectares and a retained parcel having an area of 32.86 hectares as a boundary adjustment. The lands are to be added to an existing lot located immediately to the south with a final lot size of 0.8, or correction, to the north with a final lot size of 0.82 acres. Subject lands are 0.05 hectares in size and part of a larger farm parcel which fronts onto the south side of Second Concession Road, STR, in the former geographic township of Middleton. Subject lands contains no structures or buildings, and the retained lands are 32.86 hectares in size and actively farm. The surrounding land uses are agricultural in nature, with small residential lot immediately to the north of subject lands. And the subject application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and maintains the intent of the Norfolk County official plan regarding boundary adjustments within the agricultural designation. This application is recommended approval subject to the attached conditions.
Thanks very much. Any questions of the planner? I have a motion by Marcel, seconded by Dan, that the committee hereby approves this application to sever a parcel with no frontage and irregular width of 43.8 meters and irregular depth of 21.37 meters. An area of 0.5 hectares and retain a parcel with 81 acres as a boundary adjustment. Lands are to be added to the existing residential lot located immediately adjacent. Roll number ending in 008610, final lot size 0.82 acres. The subject application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, Norfolk County official plan as far as boundary adjustments in the agricultural area, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Deja vu, I think I read this one last time. I'll correct that. Further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? Carried. So we have three applications left that are AN 233, AN 234, and BN 235, and I don't know how you want to do them. Welcome.
Hello, good evening. I'm Gary Blazik. I am the agent for the applicant, Mr. Banman, who's also here with me this evening.
Good, thank you. Now we'll have the planner explain the reports.
These are two minor variance applications to permit severances, a severance, which will require relief from the severed and retained lands of 0.05 hectares from the minimum required lot area of 1 hectare to permit 0.35 hectares. The subject lands front onto Cultus Road in Cultus and contain a single detached dwelling and a shed. A hydrogeological study has been submitted with the application, and it confirms that the lot size is adequate for private servicing on both the severed and retained lands. The subject applications conform to the intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw, and they're considered minor and appropriate in this instance. Planning staff support these applications and recommend that they be approved.
Thank you. Any questions of the planner? So the first one we'll be dealing with is AN 233. Rudy? Dennis? So for application AN 233, it's been moved by Rudy, seconded by Dennis, that the committee hereby approves the application to permit the creation of a lot requiring relief of 0.05 hectares from the minimum required area of 0.4 hectares to permit a lot of 0.35 hectares. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the proposed development and requested relief is considered appropriate, minor in nature, and maintains the intent of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and that no public input was received, therefore not considered. Further discussion? Those in favor? That motion's carried. And then she also talked about 234 in her report, and we'll need a motion for that. Dan and Larry? So for application AN 234, it's been moved by Dan, seconded by Larry, that committee approve the application to permit a creation of a lot requiring relief of 0.05 hectares from the minimum required lot area of 0.4 hectares to permit an area of 0.35 hectares. In accordance with Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, the development and requested relief is considered appropriate, minor, maintains the intent of the general intent of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. Those in favor? Carried. And now 235.
This is an application to sever a lot having an area of 0.35 hectares, and it's related to the ones we just did. The variances have now been approved to permit the reduction in size, and the application is consistent with the PPS, conforms to the official plan, and meets the provisions of the zoning bylaw. And staff support this application and recommend approval subject to the attached condition.
Terrific. Thank you. Questions of the planner? Discussion? Is it Rudy? Yeah. For application BN 235, was moved by Rudy, seconded by Eric, that the committee approves the application to sever a parcel with a frontage of 33.2 meters, an irregular width of 33.2 meters, an average depth of 124.6 meters, an area of 3,497.74 square meters, retain a parcel with an area of 3,497.71 square meters as the creation of a lot in the hamlet of Cultus. Application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms with the intent of Norfolk County official plan regarding lot creation in the hamlet, and no public input was received, therefore not considered as part of the application. And again, the conditions are outlined in the motion. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor of the motion? Opposed? That motion's carried.
Thank you.
So, other business. Next meeting is January 17th, and you'll get a schedule either by email or at the next meeting. But it's every third Wednesday. And we don't get fired this year, we get fired next year, right? So we got one more year just before we're replaced. Has anybody else got anything come up? Sure.
There was that outbuilding in the southwest that was too high. How did that come to light?
That was the 250, I believe,
Yes.
application 250. So it was constructed and it was noted on their final inspection that the building was too high and, yep, so open building permit.
That was the soul, that's why it had to get done. But hey, they did it in 1997, but it only cost them a couple $100. What? You just started? I did. Wow. You fired him? No. No?